If you've ever tried to make Lebanese food at home and felt like one small step keeps slowing everything down, you've probably noticed it's usually not the recipe. It's the little jobs around the recipe. Chopping a mountain of parsley for tabbouleh, squeezing enough lemon without wrecking your hands, rolling dough thin enough to feel right, or shaping kibbeh so it looks neat instead of turning into a whole project on the counter. The right gadgets don't change what Lebanese cooking is. They just make the routine feel smoother, cleaner, and a lot easier to repeat when you're making dinner on a busy night or cooking for a bigger family meal. So, in this lineup, you're getting a clear look at some of the best gadgets for Lebanese cuisine that matter most for prep, shaping, rolling, chopping, and everyday kitchen flow. And if you want to compare for yourself, I've put links to the current prices I'm seeing right now for each gadget in the description box below. Starting with this top gadgets for a Lebanese cuisine lineup, the Kibbeh Rolls Maker is the kind of tool that makes sense the moment you see how much shaping it does at once. It forms 9 kibbeh pieces in one press, so you move through a batch much faster instead of shaping one piece after another by hand. That matters when you're cooking for more than 1 or 2 people and want the prep to keep moving. The fill and press setup is the whole point here. You load it, press down, and skip the sticky hand part of the job. So the process feels cleaner and more controlled on the counter. In practice, that means less fiddling with the mixture in your palms and more time getting the tray filled and ready to cook. You're working with food-grade PP plastic, and the listing notes high strength, corrosion resistance, and high temperature resistance. So the tool is built for repeated kitchen use without feeling flimsy. The material is marked BPA-free, PVC-free, phthalate-free, and PFOA-free, so you get a more straightforward food contact setup. That kind of build makes it easier to keep this in regular rotation instead of treating it like a one-time novelty. The size here is geared toward larger kibbeh pieces, and the mold itself stays compact enough to store easily when you're done. That combination gives you a tool that speeds up a very specific job without taking over the whole kitchen. If kibbeh is one of the dishes that keeps pulling you back into Lebanese cooking, this is a very direct way to make that routine feel lighter. Are you more focused on speeding up batch prep or keeping the shaping process cleaner? Tell me in the comments so I can see what most people are trying to fix. Next up in this home cooking gadgets for Lebanese cuisine roundup, the wooden rolling pin fits Lebanese cooking best when dough is part of your regular rhythm. The straight cylindrical shape gives you broad contact with the dough so you can roll more evenly instead of chasing thickness from one side to the other. That matters when you're working on flatbreads, pastry, or any dough where consistency changes the final result. This one uses solid food-safe wood, so the tool feels simple and steady in your hands. A smooth wooden surface helps the rolling motion stay controlled, which is exactly what you want when you're thinning dough gradually instead of forcing it. The result is a calmer prep flow when you're rolling, turning, and stretching on the counter. What stands out here is the compact, lightweight feel. The listing frames it as easy to handle and suitable for smaller dough tasks, so it stays approachable even if you don't bake every week. That makes it easier to grab when you want something quick and handmade instead of reaching for a heavier tool that feels like extra work. You do need to hand wash it, which fits the way most wood tools live in a kitchen anyway. A quick wash with warm water and mild soap keeps the routine simple while helping preserve the wood over time. For Lebanese cooking, it lands as one of those quiet tools that supports the bread and pastry side of the kitchen without asking for much space or effort. Moving on to this gadgets for Lebanese cuisine reviews pick, the Grape Leaves Roller is the kind of specialty tool that earns its place when stuffed leaves are part of your cooking life. The title tells you exactly what it's for: rolling grape leaves and other filt wraps with a setup designed for beginners and children. That means the tool is built around making the rolling motion feel simpler and easier to repeat. The big benefit here is consistency. When you're filling and rolling by hand, One piece can end up tight and the next one loose, which slows the whole batch down. A roller setup gives you a more guided motion, so your prep typically feels more organized from the first few leaves to the last ones on the plate. This kind of tool makes especially good sense for family cooking. Lebanese meals often involve repetitive prep jobs that go faster when the motion is simple and easy to teach, and that's where a roller really helps. So if you want to turn stuffed grape leaves into something you make more often, instead of something you save for when you have a lot of patience, this fits that goal well. It's still a niche gadget, but it solves a real kitchen task instead of pretending to do everything. You pull it out for one of the most recognizable rolling jobs in Lebanese cooking, and it's there to make that process smoother and more approachable. For the right kitchen, that's exactly what a good specialty tool should do. Now, let's get into one of the great gadgets for Lebanese cuisine picks, the Kubbe attachment kit, because this one is all about building around a meat grinder workflow. The title gives you a universal food pusher, a sausage filler nozzle, and a Kubbe attachment kit for a number 5 meat grinder. So the setup is centered on shaping and feeding rather than doing the work by hand. That matters when you want a more guided process for Kibbeh style prep and filling jobs. A dedicated pusher changes the feel of grinder prep right away. Instead of improvising with the feed process, you get a part that matches the task. So the setup feels more deliberate and more controlled at the machine. In day-to-day use, that makes the prep station feel cleaner and more organized. The sausage filler nozzle expands what the grinder setup can do, which is useful if you like tools that pull double duty. Even if Lebanese cooking is the focus, extra shaping and filling flexibility helps the attachment kit feel worth storing alongside the grinder. The upshot is a more versatile station when you're prepping for family meals or weekend batches. The Kubbe attachment is the real reason this lands in a Lebanese lineup. It keeps the shaping process closer to a dedicated workflow, so you spend less energy trying to improvise the form and more energy getting the filling and texture where you want them. If Kibbeh is one of the foods you care about getting right, this is a very natural next step after the basic hand tool route. If making stuffed leaves or kibbeh is what pushed you to start looking, what part feels slowest right now? Drop a comment below because kitchens and routines are so different, and it's helpful to compare notes. Coming in next in this home gadgets for Lebanese cuisine category are the OXO kitchen and herb scissors, and these make immediate sense for Lebanese cooking. The second parsley hits the cutting board. The stainless steel design cuts through herbs, vegetables, meat, and kitchen odds and ends, so the tool isn't limited to one job. That kind of flexibility helps when you're moving from trimming mint to snipping scallions to opening a package without swapping tools. The micro-serrated blades are the standout detail here. They grip ingredients and help prevent slipping, so delicate herbs feel easier to control while you cut. For tabbouleh prep especially, that means the motion feels steadier and less slippery when you're working through a big pile of greens. There's an herb stripper built in, which gives you a quick way to pull leaves from tougher stems before you start chopping. That saves you some of the repetitive handwork that slows herb-heavy cooking down. The cushioning pads on the grip absorb pressure while cutting, so your hand stays more comfortable when the prep bowl keeps getting bigger. The blades separate for easier cleaning, and hand washing keeps the routine straightforward after prep is done. At 8.7 inches long, they're big enough to feel capable without becoming clumsy in a drawer. If your Lebanese cooking leans hard on fresh herbs, this is the kind of small tool you end up reaching for far more often than you expect. Next up in this gadgets for a Lebanese cuisine comparison lineup is the Zulay 2-in-1 lemon squeezer. And this one feels almost made for a Lebanese kitchen. Fresh lemon runs through everything from dressings and marinades to finishing grilled meats and brightening hummus, so a manual juicer gets used constantly. This one is built for limes, lemons, and small oranges, so it covers the citrus jobs that show up again and again. The holes at the bottom work as a seed filter, so you get juice flowing into the bowl or over the plate without stopping to fish seeds back out. That makes the whole squeeze and pour routine feel faster when you're dressing fattoush, finishing a tray of chicken, or adding sharpness to a sauce. In practice, the cleanup around the prep zone feels better too because you're not chasing stray pulp and seeds. You're working with an aluminum body finished with a food-grade coating, and the ergonomic handle is there to keep the pressing motion comfortable. That combination matters because squeezing a few lemons is easy, but squeezing a whole pile for a family meal is where tool comfort starts to matter. Here, the motion stays quick and direct instead of turning into a hand workout. It's manual, compact, and easy to store, so it doesn't ask for extra counter space or power to be useful. Top rack dishwasher safe cleaning keeps the routine simple once the meal is underway and you're wiping things down. For Lebanese cooking, this is one of the easiest upgrades to appreciate because you feel the difference almost every time you cook. And then at the top of this lineup, the Cuisinart 14-cup food processor is the broadest kitchen helper in the group. With a 720-watt motor and a 14-cup bowl, it's built for larger prep jobs so you can handle big batches of hummus, garlic sauce, chopped vegetables, and dough in one place instead of splitting everything into smaller rounds. That matters when you cook often or cook for a table that fills up fast. The controls stay simple with on and off plus pulse, which is exactly what you want when you need quick stops and starts instead of fiddling with a complicated panel. There's an extra large feed tube with both small and large pushers, so ingredients move in more easily, whether you're dropping in a chunkier piece of produce or feeding smaller items. The result is a machine that feels practical in use rather than overly precious. You're getting a stainless steel slicing disc, a medium shredding disc, and a stainless steel chopping and mixing blade. So the machine covers several real kitchen jobs without making you buy into a bunch of extra pieces right away. Those included tools matter because Lebanese cooking often jumps between fine herb prep, smooth purees, shredded vegetables, and dough work in the same week. A detachable disc stem helps with cleanup, which keeps the ownership side feeling easier after a full prep session. The footprint is 11 inches deep, 7.9 inches wide, and 14.8 inches high, so it has real capacity without becoming an oversized countertop giant. There's a limited 3-year warranty on the unit and a full 5-year warranty on the motor, which gives the whole machine a more settled, dependable feel for long-term kitchen use. If you want one gadget here that reaches into the most parts of Lebanese cooking, this is the one that does the heaviest lifting. If you've already tried a prep tool that almost worked for herbs, lemon, or batch cooking, share it in the comments. It really helps other people reading through and trying to choose the right setup. So here's the simple way to choose. Go for the Cuisinart if you want the one tool that handles the widest range of Lebanese prep. Pick the lemon squeezer and herb scissors if your cooking leans hard on fresh citrus and chopped herbs, and keep the shaping tools in mind if kibbeh or stuffed leaves are the dishes you want to make more often and with less hassle. The rolling pin fits best if dough work is part of your routine and you want a straightforward tool that keeps that process smooth. And if you want to check them out for yourself, I've put links in the description box to the current prices I'm seeing right now for each gadget in this Best Gadgets for Lebanese Cuisine shortlist.